All right, lastly, to the Bengals, 3 weeks away. You know all the needs the Bengals have. Quarterback is really now a wild card. They can go wide receiver. They can go one of the top defensive linemen. Von Miller, a player that you thought was one of the best in the draft. If you had to say right now at number four, where would the Bengals go?
Well, that being said, I don't think Von Miller will be there at number
Okay.
four. I think he'll be gone in the top three picks. Uh, and maybe Cam Newton or maybe Blaine Gabbert, both are gone. Who knows? But I wouldn't take those quarterbacks if I was the Bengals right now. I would go for the best receiver available, who would be A.J. Green. If you want to have a conversation about Julio Jones, have that conversation. But I would look for some firepower. Last year, you got Jermaine Gresham. You got Shipley. This year, T.O.'s gone. Chad's getting older. You need a top-flight receiver for whoever's going to be quarterback. I would take the receiver first round and hopefully try to get, a Colin Kaepernick or a guy in the second round that's, a quarterback that we can develop for the future, and maybe somewhere look for a veteran. But right now, I would take A.J. Green and go with the firepower.
So, okay, A.J. Green first round. You mentioned Colin Kaepernick. Is he your favorite out of that second group of guys after you get out of the Cam Newton, Blaine Gabbert? Would you say that Colin Kaepernick is the guy that you would go with next?
I think he has the most upside of all the other quarterbacks. Obviously, the kid from Florida State, Christian Ponder, has been hitting a bunch of lists. He's a smart guy. He has a lot of tools and tangibles. Just like Jake Locker, he hasn't led his team to anything. If you look,
you really feel that though? Like he hasn't been that
just
good in
hasn't
college.
led his team anywhere. He hasn't. And the thing is, Colin has. He took Nevada somewhere this year. You've seen the leadership. You've seen his ability to impact the game. I haven't seen Christian Ponder be able to do that. So Colin would be my next, choice in the second round if I was looking to have a quarterback to develop. This kid hasn't been able to throw a lot of passes in his career, but he's been a starter for a while. He's been very productive, and he's the type of guy that you can mold and maybe develop into something in the future.
Okay, at what point in the draft do you say it's the right time for the Bengals to go offensive line?
With offensive line, you can always third, fourth, fifth, sixth round. Those guys, if you really need that and you need to fulfill that need, then kill it in those rounds. There's going to be guys available. Every year there's guys that's drafted, like the Willie Colognes in the sixth round for the Steelers, sixth, seventh round, wherever he was drafted, or maybe free agency.
Round, yeah, he was sixth
so these
round,
guys
yeah.
start. They start in the league, So, there's guys out there to get, the special guys will be gone. Right now, this isn't a great draft for offensive linemen. There's a bunch that they're talking about going in the first round. These guys aren't that special. They're not franchise left tackles or right tackles. I don't think they come in and start for the Bengals. If you're looking for a guard center, the value for that is in this, third, fourth, fifth, sixth round. I would start looking for offensive linemen in that area. And if you really need it and you really want to solidify that, then do it in bulk. Grab 2 or 3 guys.
All right, well, before we go, I want to just quickly, who do you take, Fairley or Darius? Who's your favorite?
It's a funny thing because, Marcel Darius is a big athlete. I always go for the bigger guy if they're both the same type of athletes. But one thing about Nick Fairley is this. They both played in the SEC. They both played the same competition. Nick Fairley dominated that competition, and Marcel Darius played well. He showed up on tape. I think he played with the better defense, but Nick Fairley was impactful. He dominated all year from start to end. Hell, 3 weeks into the season, you were calling me talking about Nick Fairley. This guy was dominating people. This guy's a violent guy on the field. He's powerful. He's explosive. If you look at his workout, you see the burst, the explosion. I'm going Nick Fairley.
All right, Blaine Gabbert, Cam Newton.
I'm going Cam Newton just for the simple fact that he's a star. This guy here has dominated his level, every level of competition he has played against. This guy has a prototypical release. He has a monster of an arm. Obviously, there's some concerns about a lot of things, but you know what? There's concerns about every player developing at the next level. This guy here will sell tickets. This guy here will lift the spirits of a team. And if you miss on him, you might miss on Blaine Gabbert as well, but, at the end of the day, I think you miss on a guy who could at least come in and do something for you. He's not an Achilles Smith type of guy. This guy has showed already the ability to lead and do the things that you want done. It's a matter of someone getting a hold of him, coaching him up, and doing what you offensively want to do, surrounding him with enough pieces, and I think he'll be a winner.
Daquan Bowers, Robert Quinn, North Carolina. Who you got?
Well, the problem with Daquan Bowers is I think he had microfracture surgery, and I'm always afraid of that. Before that situation, I was going Daquan Bowers. Robert Quinn hasn't played in a year, so what are you getting with that guy? I'm going Daquan Bowers.
Okay. Would you be afraid to draft Ryan Mallett? If you had, if you would say going to the third quarterback, I think he's behind those. I don't skill wise, he may be up there with the top two, but I think there's enough questions about him that he will probably be third to fifth quarterback taken. Would you be okay with drafting him?
It depends on what level you're trying to draft him. If you're going to draft and invest a top 10 pick on a guy, I would be a little afraid because he has some off the field concerns that are a little bit deeper than the rest. There's been some situations they don't know if he's a leader. There are some situations where he transfers schools, and there might be some other things in his background that could lead to some problems down the line. That being said, I think Blaine Gabbert is probably the best natural passer, but he's streaky. When he's hot, he's hot. When he's not, he's not. I wouldn't say the best natural passer. I'm saying the guy who has the most upside as far as passing. Mallett is the best pure passer in this draft, hands down. I mean, he can make all the throws. He can do everything you want. A lot of people don't know he's actually a smart guy. He's a son of a coach. He can draw it up on the board. He knows what he's talking about. But the guy, when you look at his workout, you look at his body, he doesn't look like an athlete at all. I mean, he ran super slow in his pro day. It makes you wonder, did he even care? And there's some things that bothers me with him. If there was a second-round pick, I would take him in a heartbeat, and I would make him my guy. That being said, I wouldn't take him in the top 15 picks.
Okay, I swear, last one. Bengals, a lot of people saying draft Patrick Peterson if he's there because J.J. may leave in free agency. Are you with that school of thought?
Absolutely not. First of all, I don't think that Patrick Peterson makes the Cincinnati Bengals a better team. What does he do to add to this team to make them better? I mean, right now, at this point in his career, he's not a better cover corner than J. Joe when J. Joe's on his game. This guy plays corner, and I don't see him as being the next Darrelle Revis like everyone else does. He is a good returner, but you're not going to have your best cornerback returning all the time for you. That's just too risky. I just don't see him adding anything to the Bengals. I mean, what does he bring that they don't already have?
Well, he'll bring. I mean, if J.J. didn't leave, he'll bring a good corner. I mean, he'll be a good.
Absolutely, he's a terrific player. He's a terrific player. He's the best athlete in this draft, outstanding athlete. But if you get an A.J. Green, this guy can help you now. If you get one of the defensive linemen or you get a Von Miller, those guys can add to your pass rush immediately. This guy adds to the coverage, but you know what? Coverage isn't a problem with the Cincinnati Bengals at the moment, unless you're going to play him at safety, and that's not what you're taking him for. He's a great player. I just don't see him as the Bengals pick or a fit or a need at the moment.
Well, Fish, I appreciate it. We're going to do this quite often up until the draft. I think, there's a lot of questions I got for you, but that's enough right now. I don't want to hold you up all night, but I appreciate it, man. We'll do this real soon.
No doubt.
All right, thanks, man.
All right.